Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the golf world. And honestly, it's a mindset shift I think we can all learn from. We're talking about Scottie Scheffler, the #1 golfer on the planet. Now, you might have seen the headlines after the Arnold Palmer Invitational, where he finished tied for 24th. For anyone else, that's a solid week. For Scheffler, it's apparently a dip. But here's where it gets really interesting. He's not bothered. And he's explaining why. Personally, I think this is where the elite of the elite separate themselves. Scheffler isn't looking at his scorecard from last week and panicking. He's not thinking, oh no, I dropped from a win to 24th. Instead, he's talking about a shot-by-shot mentality. What makes this really fascinating is that it completely reframes how we should even think about professional sports. We're so used to this week-to-week narrative, this constant pressure for immediate results. But for someone operating at his level, it's about the process, the execution of each individual moment. He even posed a hypothetical: if his season results were flipped, would anyone be asking him these questions? It's a brilliant point, right? It highlights how much external perception is driven by recent outcomes, rather than a consistent, underlying level of play. What many people don't realize is that golf, especially at that level, is incredibly nuanced. A few bad bounces, a slightly off swing on a critical hole, and suddenly a win turns into a T24. But that doesn't erase the skill or the potential. Now, let's talk about the stats. His approach play, something he's dominated for years, dipped significantly at Bay Hill. He lost nearly 3 strokes to the field in that area. This is a detail I find fascinating because it's tangible evidence that even the best have off days. But again, Scheffler's reaction is telling. He trusts his feel over the raw numbers. If he feels like he can hit good shots, he's not going to get bogged down by a stat. This is a powerful lesson in self-awareness and trusting your instincts, even when the data suggests otherwise. From my perspective, this is what separates good players from all-time greats. They understand that a slump isn't a permanent state, but a temporary deviation. The media, as Scheffler himself points out, loves to create a narrative. And a dip in form for the world #1 is catnip for a story. But he's actively pushing back against that, saying his expectations are internal, focused on mental commitment and executing each shot. This is the kind of mental fortitude that's almost impossible to teach. And speaking of his game, he's at TPC Sawgrass this week for the Players' Championship, a place where he has a chance to make history by winning for the 3rd time. He mentioned that this course really suits his game because it forces him to hit a variety of shots, different curves, different trajectories. What this really suggests is that his adaptability and his enjoyment of the more intricate aspects of the game are key to his success, especially on a challenging layout like this. So, when you see Scheffler play, remember it's not just about the final leaderboard. It's about that shot-by-shot commitment, that internal compass guiding him through their ups and downs. It's a mindset that's not just for golfers, but for anyone striving for excellence. What do you think about this approach? Let me know in the comments.